Hey everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here, back for another video. I did not in, I didn't feel like doing reviews of ROH, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and Impact Wrestling on Destination America this week because I didn't like Ring of Honor Wrestling this week, and I enjoy TNA Impact, but I didn't think it was all that good. So instead, I'm gonna do a video giving my thoughts on TNA and Global Force Wrestling. This video will be me talking about the news on both TNA Wrestling and Global Force Wrestling and giving my thoughts on each of them. I'm gonna start off with TNA and we get the bad out the way right now. I'm gonna start off with the bad. Of course, already just recently, of course, both MVP and Hernandez have both parted ways with the promotion, and while I am disappointed with the departures of both, I'm more disappointed with the departure of MVP because this ruins the BDC plans, and of course the TNA product has just been awesome because of the involvement, because of the return, because of the debut of MVP and TNA wrestling. And I'm disappointed that that the whole that TNA they couldn't secure a deal with Lucha Underground to pay Hernandez, who turns out wasn't released from Lucha Underground. Wasn't released from Lucha Underground. They couldn't pay him. TNA they couldn't pay. They couldn't TNA couldn't pay Lucha Underground to use his appearances on TV. So instead, TNA was forced to release Hernandez, and MVP shortly after that also announced his departure from the organization, which I'm hugely disappointed about because the BDC I didn't like it at first, but BDC instantly became one of the better things about Impact. And MVP, in my opinion, has so much to offer TNA. I guess this is not totally a bad thing because he's old, but he was so awesome in TNA, and I want to see more of MVP and TNA. So I'm kind of disappointed by this. Um, um, Next is of course the departures of next is Austin Aries and James Storm briefly return to TNA for one of their one night only shows. Of course, James Storm. Of course, it was announced that he was released from TNA so he could do the Global Force, so he can go to Global Force Wrestling and for their invasion angle coming up. And Austin Aries, of course, here's what I'm disappointed by. Austin Aries, he wanted to return to both of them are return. Both of them are not returning to TNA full time. And Austin Aries, he wanted to return to TNA with a pay per appearance deal, but TNA rejected that offer. I was disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing Austin Aries. Of course, I'm looking forward to seeing him back in Ring of Honor, but I was looking forward to seeing him back in TNA because once again, just like MVP, he was one of the better things of TNA, kind of keeping TNA glued together. And then of course you got next is um next is who else is in TNA? Oh yeah, next is so yeah, that's all. Oh yeah, the cancellation of TNA rumors which have been circling around all summer, that Destination America will drop TNA this fall, this September. I didn't listen or believe any of that, but after seeing the commercial where it says TNA Impact all summer long, I'm starting to believe that they may drop one promotion and have and just keep Ring of Honor. Hugely disappointed about that because I like having two shows, Ring of Honor and TNA. I hope I'm right, and these are all just rumors. But I hate how Destination America expected TNA to be this highly rated program when their channel was absolutely garbage. When their channel was absolutely garbage. Who would actually take time out of their day to watch this channel? And they're disappointed with the ratings for TNA. I heard somewhere that they're keeping Ring of Honor despite lower ratings. I guess because Ring of Honor is cheaper to produce, something like that. But that's all rumors, and I hope that's all it is rumors. Because like I said, I like having both promotions on Wednesday night. Both of these promotions make Wednesdays an awesome night, and yeah, that's all the bad. Now let's get to some good. First of all, TNA Bound for Glory's location has been revealed. It will be at the Caribis Arena, something like that, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Happy to hear that TNA is back in a big time arena. I love Slammiversary 2015, but I was so disappointed with the venue. I was so disappointed that an awesome event like that had to be in the Impact Zone. It wasn't in Dallas, which is what I expected. I'm happy to hear Bound for Glory is in Caribis, North Carolina, and I'm also happy. I also hope and if the card is good, I'm thinking about ordering on Bound for Glory. If the pay-per-view card is good, or at least decent, kind of how Slammiversary was on pay-per-view, like an ordinary Impact, but they transformed it into a pay-per-view quality event. And next is I'm also happy with the announcement that TNA released a DVD of Jeff Hardy and Hulk Hogan. This is one of the things TNA needs to do to really get their product out there. Besides trying to promote better, they need to have more merchandise. Besides T-shirts and what's in it, they need to have more DVDs. They need to get their DVDs back in stores. They need to have another TNA Impact video game. I play more video games than I watch professional wrestling, and they need to have more they need to have they need that that's they need to get some more action figures. I remember in 2006, I remember seeing TNA action figures in 2006 of AJ Styles, Daniels, Jeff Jarrett, and Abyss and Sting. They need to get more merchandise like the well, they have all that. I've people wearing it at what's it seen people wearing the wrestlers' clothes at events. So that's what TNA that's what TNA needs to do. That's what TNA needs to do to really get their product out there. I don't care about them ever being a competitor to WWE anymore because I don't care about anything with WWE. I don't care. I always wanted TNA to become bigger and better so they can make WWE better. I don't care about WWE now. I just want TNA to be bigger, and I just want TNA to be bigger and better. I don't care about WWE, but I want to talk more about that later. Um, next, next is one of the good things to come out of the departures of MVP and Hernandez and the loss of the BEC was I love how TNA showcased matches and stuff from Slammiversary 2015. I also liked at that time where they replayed Slammiversary 2014, which I also loved. Slammiversary 2014. In my opinion, TNA needs to do more since they don't have the roster WWE or the independent circuit has. In my opinion, team they need to show matches and highlights from past TNA events, especially from 2002 to 2008, 2002 to 2008, which is my opinion TNA in its prime, right there, man. They need to show more matches from past TNA guys. I want to see matches of Sonny Siaki, Monty Brown, Apollo, Lance Hoyt, Jimmy Rave, the Machine Guns, Chris Sabin in his singles career, Petey Williams, um, Petey Williams, all those guys. I want to see some of the original Wildcat, Chris Harris, AMW, the Naturals, Andy Douglas, Chase Stevens. I want to see more of that TNA relic, Black Rain. I want to see more of Raven. Love with how they rejuvenated his career. Rhino. I want to see more from the original eras of TNA. So they need to replay. They need to replay matches and stuff from pay-per-views and stuff. Since they don't have the roster to compete with a let's say since they don't have the roster that a WWE has. Next is the next is I was also excited to see Jeff Jarrett being inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. I also want to see Monty Brown, Sonny Siaki, Sonny Siaki, Christopher Daniels, Chris Sabin, Sanjay Dutt, Petey Williams, Abyss, Abyss, Raven, Tommy Dreamer. I want to see and the rest of the ECW guys. I want to see all of them in the TNA Hall of Fame. The TNA Hall of Fame is the only Hall of Fame that and the official Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame are the ones I actually are the only Hall of Fames I actually recognize. I don't recognize WWE's Hall of Fame. All right. Well, that's it for TNA. That's it for TNA. And like I said, I hope TNA gets better because if TNA goes, I am done with mainstream wrestling. It is strictly independence because TNA because right now mainstream wrestling isn't good, but TNA right now is the best we have when it comes to mainstream wrestling. The Lucha Libre promotions in New Japan, as big as they are not they're not mainstream. They're not anything here in the United States. So yeah that's TNA. Next is Global Force Wrestling. This is my first impression of Global Force Wrestling after seeing some of Global Force's wrestling product. Last time it was me just giving my thoughts on Global Force Wrestling. This is me giving my thoughts on the Global Force Wrestling product after seeing it. Some guy named Webcam something like that uploaded matches from one of the Global Force Wrestling live events. I'm gonna get the bad out the way first. First of all, actually, I love the promotion already. But I'm gonna start off with the bad. Here's the bad. I did not like the venue, and hopefully, when they get to the TV tapings, hopefully they have a much smaller venue. In my opinion, Global Force Wrestling, they were in a baseball stadium. They're not big enough. They're not big enough to fill a baseball stadium yet. They're not big enough to fill a baseball stadium. They need to start in smaller places like ballrooms, nightclubs, old abandoned buildings, armories. I don't like gymnasiums, but gymnasiums and fun parts, and churches. That's where they need to start and build up to the and build their product to the point where they can fill the live arenas. WCW and even WCW and WWE overnight didn't become big. They started in smaller places and grew and became bigger, and that's what Global Force Wrestling needs to do. Um, I also don't like the fact that the ropes are green, but they probably did this to distinguish themselves from TNA and other promotions like the Lucha Libre promotions, which have black ropes. So I didn't like the fact that the ropes were green. I like the fact that the ropes were green. Do like the fact they use a hexagon ring, and 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 so that was all the bad. Now for the good. Like I said, I like the hexagon ring. The matches and stuff were good. Chris Masters versus Dustin Starr. The Bullet Club versus the New Heavenly Bodies. The matches and stuff were great. Were great, and the crowd was really into them despite the small crowd. But like I said, Global Force Wrestling already is good. I just hope the venue is better and they have more people when they get to the when we get to the taping. So far, the taping actually happened. The taping is actually happening today. It's actually happening today, July 24th, but it's unknown when it'll actually air. Um, I hope that Global Force Wrestling airs on a channel that I actually have. And I remember them talking about getting a deal with Spike TV. If they can get a deal with Spike TV, TNA's old home, that would be really, really cool. That would be really, really cool. But already, Global Force Wrestling is looking good. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this product. Um, and of course, they're taping 52 appears per year, and their show, their television show is called Amped. It's called Amped. Um, Television show is called Amp, and the television tapings will feature the Bullet Club and the Killer Elite Squad, which consists of Lance Varsher, Lance Hoyt, and D.H. Smith from WWE. So I'm looking forward to Global Force Wrestling, and I'm hugely excited with the news of the Global Force Wrestling invasion angle that they were talking about. And I love how they're really selling this angle by sending Eric Young and Robert Roode up there. And like I said, I love the relationship between Global Force Wrestling and TNA. I wanted them to work together. I didn't want them competing with each other. I wanted them to work together. First, I wanted them to work together to become competition to WWE. Like I said, now I don't care about WWE. I just want them to continue to make wrestling fun and exciting, which is what TNA has been doing, and what that's what I want to see. All right, like I said, this was my thoughts on TNA and Global Force Wrestling. All right, Mr. The Fanboy out.